So like I said, nothing is ever that simple, and there's bound to be a drain pipe somewhere on the job. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this tile in place with our 10mm spacers along the building sections, and then we're going to drop this drain pipe down and mark around it so we've got our cut line. So running with your 10mm spacers along your tile to ensure that you've always got that expansion up against the solid building. We're going to bob them into place to make sure the tile's in tight on both sides. We're then going to drop this drain pipe down. Right, so going in to mark our drain with our pencil, we're going to use a carpenter's pencil. So if you've ever sat and thought, why is that pencil shaped that way? The reason being is because you can sit it against a flat edge and create a 5mm gap flat against it, or a 10mm gap side against it. Now we're using a 5mm spacer, so we want a 5mm gap. So now that you've marked your tile, allowing for your 5mm space around the drain pipe, it's time to head on over to the grinder and get it cut. So we're going to show you the easiest method of cutting that difficult little square. So what we've got on the end of our 4-inch grinder is a Rubi 10mm diamond tip bore, and we're going to use that on all 4 corners to reduce the tension in the tile before we cut it with our angle grinder blade. Right, so now you've bored through all 4 corners of your tile to reduce the tension, it's time to get on a blade on your 4-inch grinder. I'm using the TVA SuperPro from Rubi. Now, I don't know how much a set of lungs are, but I know that these are £6, so make sure you put them on. Right, so now we've cut the face of the tile, we now need to cut from the underside so that we can bring that cut mark right tight up to our bore marks and not damage the face of this tile. So the beauty of cutting on an insulation board is it not only reduces the level of vibration that runs through the tile, but you can cut channels in it to hold your tile in place as well for them difficult cuts. So as you can see, I've cut a 20mm slot in there, which is the thickness of the tile. It's going to hold that in place so that when I cut from the back, it's not going to move around or anything like that. So it's time to get the PP on and cut in from the back of the tile to finish off this cut. Right, so now that's the tile cut out, the last thing I need to do is polish it up with a polishing pad, and that's just going to finish off the edges to a nice machine finish. Beautiful. Time to get it into position.